What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're in for a quick one on the crown today. I've been asked a question by one of you guys to make a video on how to actually jack up the crown. Now, it may seem like a simple question to some of you, but actually mine, I don't jack up the way you think you would jack yours up. So we're gonna jump in, I'm gonna show you a couple of ways to do it so you can avoid damaging things here and there. Now, quick little advertising. If you want to support the channel, please like, please subscribe. A lot of you aren't subscribed, you don't have to, but if you would like to stick around for videos that we do, things like this, things like holidays, things like the Supra, the E46, future projects, things like that, that would be amazing for you guys to subscribe. I think only 10% of my viewers are actually subscribed to the channel, which breaks my heart, but that's fine. If you want to bring that number up, that'd be awesome. If you want to jump in the comments, if you want to do the Patreon's going to be in a second. All things like that, you can support the channel, help the channel out, and help us grow. But without further ado, let's jump on into this video and show you guys where you can jack up your crown from. Okay, so obviously a lot of cars jack up from the same place on the sill down the side. Now I'm going to show you exactly where that is. Hopefully the camera picks it up nicely. Okay, you've got your sill right there. Now you see that little half moon cutout? There is two of those, one there and one there. Obviously you put your jack in between that. Now, the issue with mine is, not only issue number one, this body kit here actually sits too close to it. So my biggest issue is when I try and put the little section that clicks in there, it doesn't actually click in. It hits that bit of the body kit and will damage it. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Well, dude, just get in there and cut out a little bit. And that's exactly what I was going to do. But you see this bit here? Now, what the issue is as the arm of the jack comes up to locate that section into the sill, it actually hits on that bit of the body kit first. Now, I know, again, yes, you could come in and cut out a section of that, but to be honest, it's so far down that I'll probably be cutting right out to here, and I really don't want to do that. This is a beautiful body kit, no damage, no scratches, no scuffs, so I don't want to go through and damage that. So for myself, I actually come through here. You see where the exhaust connects there? On the other side of that is the diff. Now, I have to air up to the higher setting and I have to roll onto ramps because I'm on the 50mm lowdown kit, but then I can get my super low jack under there and jack up from the diff, and obviously lifts up both of the back wheels. As for the front, I have the same issue. You can see up here, the body kit sits very close to the seam and I would damage it if I put the jack in there. So what I do is I come through and you see the chassis rail there, right here? That's where I jack up from. So I get my super low jack, slide it all the way under. I actually have a little rubber stopper as well, and that's just, to protect things. You don't have to do that, but I like to. You can use a bit of wood or a bit of rubber, and I jack up from the chassis rail right there because I can't use my sills. I'll damage the body kit, and I am not willing to do that. Now, something to be aware of when you are jacking up your crown. If you set your crown to the highest height on the suspension setting and you jack it up, all good. Jack it up, put it down, it's all fine. But you guys may have seen in some of my videos, I do something a little bit sketchy, which I wouldn't recommend to you guys, but it does make life easier to polish your rims. I jack the back of my car up, I actually start it, put it in drive, and I use it as essentially like a lathe, and the wheels are spinning. Now, if you do that and you've jacked the car up, the height sensors see, oh, we're really high up, we're higher than we're meant to be, let's pull some air out. So then your suspension system will pull air out of your rear airbags because it thinks it doesn't need it. It's already high. So then when you actually go and put your car back down, it'll be on your hyper low setting. It would have pulled all the air out. And for me, because I'm on a 50mm lowdown kit in the rear, and it's probably gonna happen to the rest of you as well if you bag out, if you were to just drop your jack down, you're gonna crush the bottom of your car. You can imagine if you just slammed your whole car onto a jack, that's what it's going to do. So what you need to do is release some air, or release the jack a little bit so it comes down. Keep an eye on where the car and the jack are. And when it gets close, lock it back in and then leave the car for a bit. The compressor will put the air back in the rear suspension. It'll lift it back up. Do it again until you've actually got the car completely off of the jack and onto your ramps or whatever it may be that you're on. I did it once. I started bringing it down and I was like, that's getting really close. That's getting really, why is it getting? And then I locked it in. I was like, what's going on? And then I realized what happened because our air systems, our stock air systems with the ASC 680 or without it, whatever, they run off of a height level sensor. So they'll actually see where the height of the car is and go, I'm at 120% of height. He's asking for 100%. Let's pull air out. We're going to pull more. We're going to pull more. We're going to pull more. Why are we still at 120? And then it gets to a point. It's like, well, I put no air in. I've done my job. Sorry, mate. You're still at 120. I don't know what's going on. You know, you can only do so much. The system will put air in and take air out accordingly to what you're asking. So be aware of that. If you're going to jack your car up, you're probably going to set it on the highest height setting to help yourself get a jack under there and things like that. When you jack it up, if you start the car, because when you start the car, that's when the compressor and the air suspension system kicks in. If you start the car, it will change your height sensors and things like that. But if you jack it up and the car's off, you're changing your brakes, you're doing, suspension, whatever, maybe bushes, whatever you're doing, you're taking your wheels off, putting them back on, and you put the car back down, and you haven't started the car, all gravy. Don't worry about it. It's all sweet. It's just if you start the car, otherwise it's like a frozen kind of point in time. It's at super high, jack the car up, take the wheels off, put the wheels back on, put it back down. No air has moved. No air has like left the suspension or gone in the suspension, so you're sweet. It's just if you start the car. I know I've said it a number of times. I just want you guys to be clear on that because I don't want you guys to jack your car up, start your car for whatever reason, maybe you're checking for an oil leak or whatever, and then put it back down and you're like, why did I just crush my fuel tank when I jacked it down from the diff? Now, if you're doing it from the seals, probably less of an issue, but still an issue because when I put mine on like hyper low, I've got like this much between the side skirt and the ground. So again, it's going to damage that. So just be aware of that, guys. Very, very important point. But yeah, as for jacking points, you've got your sills, if it works for you guys, if you're not running side skirts or whatever, or you can go from your chassis rail and the diff. On the Supra, I do the sills, but if I'm trying to do both wheels at the same time or whatever, like on the rear, I'll go from the diff, or on the front. I think I've gone from the chassis rail a couple of times, but let me show you what I've actually got. But I actually bought this little contraption. So it's just a big chunk of rubber with a split in the middle. So that split obviously goes in, like, the sill actually goes in that little V, and then it means that I'm that much higher, so the jack goes up, you know what I mean? So the jack doesn't have to go so high and hit the side skirts. My side skirts are quite like low down, so this helps that avoid that. I would definitely recommend one of these. It's great, and I use it on the crown as well. So when I go onto the actual chassis rail, it's rubber on the chassis rail, not the metal of the jack, so you're not gonna scratch anything, which I prefer. So guys, I hope that was helpful. Real quick one for you today, but yeah, I know it's actually been a question that's asked a few times, and someone asked me the other day, can you make a video on it? So yeah, absolutely can help you out. So I hope that has helped out. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said in the beginning of the video, please like, please subscribe. If you've noticed the hat, we are doing merch. Like I've said in the past, I haven't set up a website yet. I'm going to, so if you guys are interested in that, you can hold off. You can, at the moment, I'm just doing it like, people come up to me and they're like, here's however much the hoodie is, go order me one, which I completely understand most people don't want to do. It's normally just like my friends that are doing that. But when the store's up, you'll be able to get hats, you'll be able to get hoodies, you'll be able to get crew necks, you'll be able to get, I think, basketball shorts and possibly t-shirts as well. So that's going to be awesome. So guys, that's all we got time for today. Hope it's been helpful. I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.